We'd like to welcome everybody. Hi, I'm Melissa Plaster, Social Committee. I'm just here for the fun with the Commons TOA. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thought it would be a good opportunity. We invited all of the school board candidates out tonight to come and introduce themselves, give a 3-minute elevator speech or intro speech, and then whatever time we have left, we have about 30 minutes for this max, because this is, the KOA still has to get a bunch of business done, so it'll move pretty quickly, and the main center closes the doors at 8, so we are out of business at 8 o'clock. The candidates, we would love for you, and I'll help keep time for 3 minutes, so that'll keep everybody on track. The candidates are going to introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about themselves, their introductory speech, and then we'll see what time we have left for any type of fielding questions and answers, and then at the end of the 30 minutes, we're all done. And you can see you're welcome. If you're not part of the Commons POA, you're welcome to stay for the meeting. Sometimes it's exciting, sometimes not. Sorry, Lord. But you're welcome. You're very welcome to stay. So, all right, candidate, go ahead, Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert Bateman, born and raised in Houston, Texas. Graduated from U of H, mechanical engineer. While I was going to U of H, put myself through school. My wife and I had children, which made us very poor before we were college students, and ended up on food stamps and Medicaid. Didn't like that, so decided to work hard to get out of that situation and work my way up but it's provided a very nice life. So why would I want to run for school board? We all saw a couple of years ago what was going on in the country, the government kind of overstepping its authority, suspending freedoms. We saw on the media every day it's hate and discontent. We got a glimpse into school districts across the country, and there were some shocking things being taught in school districts across the country. So I stretched inside of me, and I'm kind of got to do something with that. So I decided to run for school board, and if elected, I will work to ensure one of the things I saw in the school districts across America is this seeping in of some bad content in textbooks and the library books. So what I'll do is help set up a dashboard online for the community to actually read the books that are in the library and textbooks that are in front of our students, and actually be able to report on those. So if they find any ill content, the community can report that to the school district administration and make a proper decision on if that's appropriate for the kids that are reading it.
1 minute.
I'm a fiscal conservative. I'll vote conservative on all fiscal matters. I am for security on our campuses. There's been a lot of incorrect statements made on Facebook lately, so I hope somebody asks a question about that to me in the question and answer session. Curriculum, we need to get back to the basics. We need to teach basic truths in our school to these kids, that the rights come from the Lord, not from the government. And there are two genders, male and female. They should not compete against each other. They should not want each other to have or life. So why would you trust me to be on the school board? I have a firm moral foundation that I base on biblical principles, time tested. I'll bring that into the school board, and when hopefully comes to these kids, I can assure you that I will not waver on my focus. So thank you.
Good evening. I would like to first thank the HOA for having us this evening, and that we could introduce ourselves and deal with the council. My name is Ray. I'm running for position 3. I've lived out in this community about 43 years. I've seen a lot happen right now. Been married to my lovely wife for 40 years. I have 2 children that were product of Upland ISD. Very proud of both of them. One's a discussing lawyer, the other one's is an engineer. Very proud of both of them. I'm partner to this school district. I'm also, the reason I really am running and want to run again is I think my grandchildren and your children deserve the same education that mine did. Not even there what they had, but even better. I noticed today that I've noted, but we had 389 in Texas certificates given out by Texas to our kids last year in vocational programs. That's a big feat for a small district like that. I'm very proud of that. There's a lot of accomplishments that I'm proud of in our district that I was a part of. And more important than anything is our security. There's nothing more valuable than our kids. And with all this country like it is, things going like they are, there can't be enough spent on security. And our police department that we established, very proud of it. We need our in-house security for the reason Harris County doesn't control those men. We control those men and women, and they can fit to us, and our children and our teachers feel safer. You can ask them. They do. They feel safer this year. And our Marshall program, I'm very proud to be part of that. But there's a lot of accomplishments. All I ask you, get on the internet, read their platform, and y'all make a good decision. That's the way we want to go. So that's the way we want to go. But I just warn you, a lot of things that are going on cannot be done in a school district. I just want you to know that. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Barbara Carroll. You won't find me on Facebook, call me right here. Okay? I've lived out in the community with my husband for 35 years. We've lived out 10 years for 35 years. First I want to say, I am very proud to say I am the Republican candidate choice by the GOP in Harris County for position 2. Second thing I want to say is, I did not vote for the bond amendment. Why? Because I felt it was being pushed in at the wrong time. It was in the current of when we were going through high inflation, we were going through high grocery and gas prices. I felt it was being pushed in at a time when nobody goes and votes in the primaries. Okay? I'm for a new bond, but I want to take the pork out of it. We don't need these great big ostentatious schools. What matters most is what happens inside those schools. That the teachers feel that they are supported, that the parents feel they have a voice, that what education, what curriculum, what book is going out to them. We can't have any of this craziness in the world coming here in our small town. I am not a yes man. I've seen this board for 7 months, constantly, yes, anything that supervisor wants. No, I question, and a question for you. I want to be your voice to the parents, the community, the students are more important. Excuse me, I'm scared. The students, I want to expand in the school. I want to expand the career integrity. We need welders. We need plumbers. We need nurses. Everything. Let's give the best education we can give those kids. Quit spending money on buildings. Put it into the curriculum. Put it into the teachers. Thank you. I'm on position 2. Sorry, I was taking Wright's place. You won't find me on Facebook. Please talk to me here. Thank you for your time.
but I don't think I'm gonna need it. My name's Jared Dagley. I have had 3 kids in Huffman ISD since elementary school. I have one that's graduated. He's at Texas A&M University. I have 2 more that are still in school. I myself am a graduate of Texas A&M University. Since I was 16 years old, I've worked in different fields of tax research, property valuation. I did projects in college with multi-year planning with cities and school districts. I have a basic knowledge that will help me serve this community. I had experience. I don't need someone to tell me what a report on growth says. I can read it myself and understand it. I think a lot of times we have people tell us stuff and we expect to just believe it. And you have to be able to understand some of that stuff yourself. And if you can't understand it, you have to go figure it out. I promise to do that for the community. I'm running for a seat that has been vacated. I'm not on the current board. I haven't been on the board. Nobody, whoever gets in seat 1 is going to create a board that looks different than the last board. So it's not going to be the same board no matter what. I'm not the GOP nominee for position 1. I don't have any endorsements. I never asked for any. I won't take any. And I'll tell you why. I serve the kids of the community, the students of the community, period. I don't owe somebody in Conroe anything. I don't owe a guy down in South Houston that wants to privatize our school districts and our schools. I don't owe him anything, nothing. I owe the kids of this community. I've been the Huffman Education Foundation. I've been on that board for 4 years. I've been the president for 2 years.
1 minute.
We raise money for teachers so that our district can be better. We raise money for scholarships so we can send kids off to school with something from Huffman ISD that means something. I ran 4 years ago, and at that time I said, I'm running because my wife, who taught this district for 7 years, and my 3 kids went out the door every day and went to Huffman ISD. They're my everything. That was very narrow-minded. Dean Warren beat me, and he deserved to beat me. I have been in these schools the last 4 years through the foundation. There are 3,700 lives that I'm running for now. That's it. And I get a little emotional when I talk about it because a lot's been said in the last few weeks, and a lot of it doesn't matter. It's a lot of fluff and national stuff. We don't have that stuff enough. If I'm elected, we're not going to have it here. If any of these guys are elected, we're not going to have it here. Greg, Dean, any of these guys. We don't want it. So all that fluff, put it away. And vote for the person who's done the work. That's it.
I'm Greg Nixon, running for position 1. I lived in Huffman over 20 years. Me and my wife have been married 25 years. Got 3 kids. My oldest daughter is 25, my son's 20, and my little one's 8. The reason I'm running for school board, I started going to some of these school board meetings and started seeing some of this money, how it's just, nobody is second guessing where this money is going. I mean, when I saw $100,000 that was trying to be approved for some trees, that there wasn't even, we didn't even have an invoice for these trees, just $100,000. And it's just like, nobody questions this. See some of these existing board members, again, just throwing their hands up, yep, just agree to get along. But that ain't the way it should be. You know, this is your tax dollar. Nobody's questioning your tax dollar. Where's it going? You know, if anybody says anything, hey, you know what, let's just all be quiet and get along. If you speak up, they want to outcast you. But enough's enough. We're sick of it. Our teachers, I see teachers saying, oh, well, we're paid, we're adequately paid. That's not true. If you're a new hire teacher, yeah, you might be. But what about the teacher that's been here, you know, anywhere from 6 to 10 to 15 years? You know, what about them? Where's their voice? Who's speaking up for them? Because all I hear is, you know, the Huffman Education Foundation. That's great. That's great. But what about our teachers? Our community is only as strong as our teachers. If our teachers are leaving, going across the bridge over here, or they're going to Montgomery County because of more money, and we got a superintendent that's at $257,000, and y'all don't have a problem with that? I do. I have a problem with that. Okay? It's like, you know, the top, there's just more money over here. Everybody just, you know, just pat his pockets. But what about our teachers? Okay, enough's enough. So the reason I started running is because I want to be your voice. I'm not a yes man. I've been in with the sheriff's department almost 24 years. And by the way, yes, I am employed with the sheriff's department. Because there's all kinds of rumors out there. Oh, is he employed? Well, yes, I'm employed. Okay? But what does that have to do with me running for the board position? Nothing. But again, we're going to create a bunch of drama. Because you know what? He's a bad cop. He's a bad cop. Know your facts. Check your facts and where you're getting them. That's all I'm asking. I'm not going to sit there and question you about what you do for a living or anything else. But all I'm asking you is give me a fair chance. I'm a human being. I got a family. I put my life on the line. I did over 14 years on the streets. Okay? I put my gun belt on. I've been in domestic violence cases, everything out there. Okay? I've served my community. I've heard people say, well, he hadn't done anything for his community. Well, I beg the difference. Okay? And all I'm asking you is for your vote and your support. Because I can promise you, I'm not going to be a yes man. I'm not going to be somebody, well, let's see what he can do for. Thank you.
Thank y'all for having us. Thank y'all for being here. So, familiar faces, some friendly, some not so friendly. Welcome to all. My name is Dean Warren. I'm running for position 2, and I'm going to read it. My wife, Bernice, and I have lived in the district for almost 25 years. We've raised 5 children in Huffman who are all productive citizens in the communities in which they live. To me, that is a huge success. Bernice and I have been and still are committed to supporting our community with our time and our financial support. But this story of my children's successes is not just my story, it's our story. Many of you, just like us, we chose this community to raise our children in because of Huffman Independent School District. I've heard a lot of rhetoric about political affiliations and political endorsements, but I haven't heard a lot about our students, the real reason why we're here. The students of our district have and will continue to thrive in their life's journey. Successful students are a product of a properly managed school district that educates all children in a safe environment. Some say we need a change in direction, a new voice, and a new vision, and they're willing to do anything to exact that change on our community. And I respectfully disagree with that. The truth is, for the last decade, our district has achieved many levels of success and will continue to do so. Contrary to the continued false narrative you hear, our retention rate is one of the highest in the area at an average of almost 87% over the last 4 years. The retention rate alone should speak volumes that our district's administrative policies and culture are not broken. We have an experienced, conservative, and fiscally responsible board, and our previous voting record should demonstrate that position to all. Contrary to the continued false narrative you have heard that our school board is broken. In closing, I am a compassionate, conservative Christian who places a premium on my family and our community. I care less about a political label and more about a man's character and commitment. And the greater good, rather than a political label that has been assigned to me by others. I would ask that you judge me on the content of my character and my service to this community. I hope that my actions and words have demonstrated that every decision I made is in the best interest of our children. I will let my record of service and commitment to our community speak for itself. I am not a yes man, but I am someone that can reach across the aisle and find common ground with somebody that has a different point of view than I do. Anyone that knows my character knows that I'm a fair man, and I'll make the tough decisions that are necessary for our children. Now is not the time for new voices and a new vision. Now is the time for a tenured board with the experience and a proven track record that can face the growth and the challenges that are imminent in our community. I stand before you tonight and ask you for my vote for position 2. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to help move this along. We're going to do it, we'll keep it time. Quick question and answers from the crowd to the candidates. So I'm going to be running that. So if you have questions, well, there's our first question. If you just let us know, I'm not going to balance it out.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mr. Nason about his lawsuit for the school. I want to wait until you the detail.
Sure. That's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. What's your name?
Buster Dean.
Buster Dean, I'm glad you brought that up. Okay? Let y'all know about this lawsuit, and I've heard these rumors that I sued the school. You're damn right I sued the school. All right? I'll put it out there. I did the same thing any other warm-blooded American would do for their son. Okay? After you talked to the vice principal twice, the principal twice, the superintendent twice. I didn't see any of this on social media. No, I didn't. Okay? Talked to a board member. Had multiple people talk to multiple board members at the time. Now let's think about why I sued the school. After you exhaust all efforts to resolve something, what do? We live in America. Can you hire an attorney to represent you? I sure hope so. So my son, who was the ROTC commander at Hubman ISD in his senior year, who's gone and represented the school, proudly represented the school. Okay? All of a sudden, one of his cadets comes to him and says, hey, we got a girl that won't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Y'all have a problem standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? I mean, after all, this is America, right? A lot of men and women have died for that right. So, anyway, he posted on social media. And the caption was about how disrespectful because so many men and women gave their life. Anything wrong with that? I think I respect a young man
15 seconds.
standing up. Okay? Then all of a sudden, I'm told, no, social media, he can't do that. He can't do that. So anyway, make a long story short, we got to get an attorney involved. Okay? But they gave him 2 days. They weren't suspended 3 to 5 days for posting that video. Okay? And then all of a sudden, they gave him 2 days after the school suspension. So we had to get the lawyer involved, go to the board and everything. Out of 7 board members, only 1 board member stood up for him. Out of 7, 1 board member. All right? So anyway, he gets 2 days after school suspension. And then we got it removed from his file because that was part of the lawyer, what their agreement was. So yes, we did win our suit. I wasn't suing for money, by the way. I was suing to take care of, to hold him accountable for my son.
And in an effort to keep it moving, we ask that responses be 1 minute. That way there's opportunity. We want to be respectful of the board.
Okay, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I attended Huffman School District when I was a little girl when there was no people of color. No color. I could bring my kindergarten picture with Ms. Bonnet. And Ms. Foster was the principal at that time. I attended this school and with Coach Wright, Johnny Roach, went through all of them. Had a great relationship with them. I had a nasty divorce that took 2 years. My daughter was kidnapped in Laredo. She was taken to Mexico. When I got her back through attorney at Lyden's, through all these false allegations, I got her back to me in a spinal fusion to save her life because her ribs were going to stab, and I have pictures, her lungs. So she went under the knife for 6 hours. I sold my home that I bought when I was 23 years old. And I came home where she was going to be safe. I enrolled her and spoke with the nurses about her medical condition and x-rays and brought her medical records. I spoke and got 504 arrangements where she'd get out 5 minutes early so she wouldn't be knocked down. I spoke with the principal, the counselors. Mr. Turner spoke with him. I showed them my divorce decree. This is my daughter, Mia. Her name is Mia Hassan. She's not just no one. She was taken out of the school district by her father, which was not on the list when I showed the divorce decree. When I asked to speak with the superintendent, because I have not seen Mia since. I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. We speak about security. I've never been away from my child, ever. And you know what? I walked into that superintendent's office and was asked to be patted down by a male sheriff's officer because I'm such a beast. I'm a force to be reckoned with, right? So I want to know about that. And you know what? The superintendent said that my divorce decree wasn't correct. It was not correct. All that money I spent was not correct. It wasn't honored out of Webb County. All he presented was her birth certificate, and he was able to walk out that school. I didn't get one phone call. This is Mia, happy in Huffman Middle School. I have not seen her since. She's gone. I don't know. She's not allowed to talk to my family. No one in my family. I want to know, what are we going to do about that? She's just collateral damage. Benny Soleil turned around and told me, hey, first pat you down, and then he goes, if it was me, hell or high water, go down there with some pistols and just start shooting the place up. What are we going to do about security and keeping the kids safe? Because, and all the board members that were there and that knew about it because I made a fuss. Is there?
Ray, do you know about this? Ray, do you know about this?
I have no idea.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
first I've ever heard it.
But do you recognize that's a problem? That you're a board member, you've been on the board, hang on,
I
it's still
recognize
personal.
that,
16 years,
but let me-
and Benny Swallow won't contact you and let you know about a situation like this. That's a problem, don't you
Well,
think?
I don't know about her situation personally.
I filed a police report, sir. I was patted down by a
There's
male police officer.
There's a lot of things that may happen at the school that is.
What's under
is-
Brock?
that-
Yes,
that makes
my
it
daughter.
happen. And
She's a
I'm
person.
sorry that it happened to you. And
I'm sorry too. You know what? You know how it feels? It's like she's dead, but she's not.
Well, I understand that.
No, you don't.
It's an emotional situation.
No, you don't feel that. You never felt that you had your children. I didn't do anything wrong. I brought her home to where she would be safe.
And I'm sorry that it happened. I'm sorry it happened.
Under your watch. Under your watch, sir.
Well, I don't know that it's my watch, but
You said you keep close tabs, sir.
well, I tried to.
Coach Ryder would never let this happen. Any principal
Ma'am,
would
I'm not
never
going
let
to
that
argue with
happen.
you in this situation because
No.
you're emotional.